Okay, it looks like our bandwidth is a little better now. Hey, good morning, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. I did have Bubbles, but she left me. She left me. Anyway, hope you're doing well. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I'm Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And yesterday, we talked about scary things about Scrum, and it was Halloween. And I said there was a fourth scary monster or scary thing about Scrum that we'll hold off to today because we just had a lot of stuff to talk, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about it. And that fourth one is management. But there is actually a fifth scary thing about Scrum that we should address too, because you have to think about this. It ain't always about the management as a problem. As in Star Wars, didn't they say there's always something bigger out there that will eat them up? I think there was one of the Star Wars movies that they talked about that. And it looks like it got a little slag here in the bandwidth, but everything should be good. I don't know. Maybe it's just the time of day or something like that. Or here comes Bubbles. Hey, Bubs. Hi, Bubs. You coming in? There's the tail. She gives the tail. She's here. So there's always a bigger, badder monster out there that's scarier than the first one. Do you think you see? And we're going to talk about that a little bit because I think it's important for everyone to understand that. So it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way. Talk about what Agile coaches and Scrum Masters should be doing and teams should be doing in this world. And it's good information for managers as well. And we do this so we can bring value to customers, not work crazy hours, and have some fun while doing it so that we enjoy what we do because it's a lot of effort. So from the Scrum Guide, and I'm trying a new thing here. I'm going to do the banners a little bit, and I'm going to show a banner, see what it says. There we go. So in the Scrum Guide, they always talk about Scrum Masters. They do this by helping everyone understand Scrum theory and practice, both within the team and the organization. So they always throw that organizational thing out there in the Scrum Guide of what Scrum Masters are supposed to do, right? And then another point that they bring up is Scrum Master serves the org, leading, training, coaching the organization, not just the team, planning, advising Scrum implementations within the org, and helping stakeholders understand and enact an empirical approach to complex problems. And those are the couple of things that the Scrum Guide always talks about. Why do they talk about it? Why do teams have so much time? Because a lot of times managers are scary sometimes. They can be scary. It's not that they're always there, but you got to understand what's going on. So let's talk about what managers do that makes, one, you got to build that trust. Two, it's okay. Managers a lot of times got promoted based on what they know and how they did it, not how they managed people. They don't really get promoted by how they do teams. It's their performance. So they transform how they worked to other people. And I'll be honest with you, they're really not trained to be managers. Most of the managers aren't MBAs. And if you really read the MBA schools and what the managers do, they ain't doing what they teach you in the MBA classes, by the way. So, and have leadership classes, and leadership talks about how we work in Scrum all the time. Do they implement it? Some do, some don't, right? So when we say we want to do this, we say, hey, we want to be able to expand and do stuff that's not necessarily directly related to the customer right now. We implement some change or improvements, design things in a certain way. But we're worried like, hey, previously we had waterfall, maybe the manager's waterfall, and they always want to know what's going on. But as you go up the chain, you can't know what everything's going on. They don't understand that. They're used to knowing everything there's to know, and that's how they got really good at what they do. So they apply that to needing to know everything that you're doing and the team's doing all the time and how they do their job. So there's that transfer. They need to learn to be coached to let go of that and let the teams do their thing. In the past, I've had executive VPs come up to me. What is my job, Greg, in this new Agile Scrum world? I don't have a role. And I'm like, yes, you do. It's the same role you always had. We need you to coach everyone on how to do as good of a job as you did and the tools and techniques that you learned over the years to help them do their job better. And what they forget, that's part of their job as managers. They think their job is to tell everyone what to know. No, it's to share and mentor and coach the employees, the teams on what they have and help basically act as a scrum master too. Get rid of roadblocks, get the tools they need, the people they need, the HR stuff and all that. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't want to do the HR. It's a tough job. So they need to do that. And they think there is no job, but there is a job. It's just what their core leadership role really always was supposed to be, and not to tell everyone what to do. So people are afraid that managers want them to do stakeholder readouts, status reports. But what managers need to do is think about what in the Scrum can I use to get the information I need to bring it up the chain or up to other organizations, a la sprint review, daily Scrum, and sprint planning. To be honest with you, those three things in combination with good metrics and good reporting stuff will give the managers all the information they need. Problem is they think they need no more and they need to have an answer every day. So it's that mentality that we as Scrum Masters have to work on coaching. And maybe I'll do another episode on really how to coach managers and what to look out for and how to coach them. I'll do a longer episode on that. So I said there's a fifth one. And there's something people don't think about. You got to ask, why is managers asking the questions they are asking? Why are they asking for daily updates? Why are they asking for statuses outside the sprint review? Why are they doing all this stuff? What is on them? Well, there's bigger fish out there. A lot of times it's stakeholders. A lot of times it's higher level managers than them. I've had situations where managers would say, Craig, I brought up one thing. I got reamed for bringing up one thing. So there's bigger fish. They eat the smaller fish as they go. Also look at, this is where HR totally fails the management ranks, in my personal opinion. Totally fails them. They have yearly goals. When I was a highlight man, I had profit and loss managed. So it was profit and loss, but I did things differently. Always made a profit. It was no problem. But they have profit and loss. They had goals. They have things like that. They have stakeholders that come on them that also need to be coached. And this is where the understanding of what they're going through and getting that understanding of those managers will help us as Scrum Masters. So there's a fifth one, bigger fish out there that are even scarier than the management. It's the next level management and all the stakeholders and all the customers that everyone scares, because I could tell so many stories. And one day we'll talk about some the fear when you own your world, going out that world, and you can see that managers where they're afraid to go integrate with other businesses, tell them where you had failure, but we're going to succeed. And this is what we learned from that failure. They're afraid to claim failures too for their teams too. So they have that same exact problem that the teams do, but the teams don't really realize that the managers have other bigger fish that are going to eat them up and what to do. And it's still just visualizing that Star Wars episode where the bigger fish comes and eats the smaller fish that look really huge, but there isn't a ginormous one up there. So that is the fifth monster. It's the stakeholders. It's the managers, all those things out there that we need to coach up an organization. So it's not just the manager of the team that we need to coach as Scrum Masters. It's the whole organization. And where we as Agile coaches have to find ways to permeate through the barriers that prevent us from coaching the whole organization and make things better. And we have to build confidence with those middle managers that run these organizations to allow us to do that. So you have to work that to really get where you want to be a transformed organization. So that's the fifth one. So we talked about yesterday. So we had the three scary things. And then we added the managers, and then we add the things that are even bigger, the managers, stakeholders, and executive managers, right? So and profit loss statements, right? So those are the kind of things that those other two things that are scary that we as Agile coaches, Scrum Masters, have to build that trust and help coach out and above those organizations. So that's what I have today. Those are the 5 scary things, the last 2 of the 5. And I want to wish you all a happy day and happy scrumming. And good luck with the managers. And send them my way if you want to have them watch some videos. We'll talk about some stuff. And have a great day. Bubble says good night. She's out. See ya. Bye.